I was looking through like old hard drives and my mom's Shutterfly account, and I saw a lot of old photos and old videos, and it just gave me that nostalgia feeling, and I really wanted to take all those old videos and just kind of try to encapsulate that nostalgia feeling in a way that I could sort of transmit it to others and just kind of use those childhood videos for something, and I don't know, kind of just do my child self proud that his videos are being used for something, and eventually he'll make it on the big screen. It's just the kind of thing that when you really think about like the past and just nostalgia in general, it's kind of bittersweet. So trying to get the bitter part of it and not trying to just encapsulate it as sweet, or finding it a little bit difficult to go back and like kind of process all of it, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's just an experience just going back and reanalyzing all of that.
And not just thinking about your own childlike self, if there is someone who is a up-and-coming filmmaker who has no experience that wants to get started in this world, what's one piece of advice that you would give them, the person that wants to take that leap?
Just don't let yourself get like bogged down by like just like the expectations or like what it has to be. Just make what's true to you, and it doesn't matter what resources it's available to you. Just literally use whatever you've got, whatever story you've got, and just put it out there. Because then when you really think about it, then you get bogged down. You kind of don't really think about doing it. Like I almost wasn't going to submit this because I was like, oh, it's going to be embarrassing, it's going to be weird, but like you just gotta go for it.
It was for class, but I do animate in my free time. This was just something that I was particularly proud of and thought was worth submitting.
Great. And what is it about animation as a medium that particularly draws you or that you really enjoy?
I like that you can kind of do whatever you want. Like there are a lot of jokes that can only be told through animation. Like if you've seen the Lego movies, you know what I'm talking about, with like all the little jokes that happen with the pieces, or like the characters like heads explode, stuff like that. You can't do that in live action, so I like just being able to draw whatever I want. I'm a big fan of graphic novel illustration, and animation and graphic novels go kind of hand in hand because of the storyboard nature of graphic novels. So I think that animation is good practice for art like that, which I'm looking to follow that profession a little bit.
So to create the film, I was just kind of sitting in class one day and I was like, you know, I want to try to make something. I want to use what I've learned from my film class and actually execute it into a physical idea. And so I was around Harvard Square one day and I was like, oh, it's really pretty. Everyone's hanging out with their friends. Why don't I make a film about the connections that people have and how, you know, everyday technology has really obstructed the visions of daily life.
Have you been doing film for a long time? Is this something that you hope to pursue in the future?
I have. I've been doing it ever since I was little, making iMovies with my sisters and my cousins, and I really hope to use my creative skills to at least help in the process of filming one day. During this piece, something that I did differently was I really allowed myself to like let my imagination go and not limit myself to like what I had around me. I tried to branch out into different areas, such as Harvard Square, to be able to capture something new than what I usually film. My favorite thing that I got to do was spend time outside with friends and be able to enjoy time in nature and honestly just make connections with people while I film the movie Connection.
Obviously, you guys are here together right now. Is that because you together made this thing from conception all the way through?
Yes.
Yeah.
Katie was the main actor, lead actor, and I was kind of a side villain.
And did you also, obviously, you conceived of the film and wrote it as well. Was it an idea that you came up with together, or was it one of yours?
I think it was Michael's, but then we both built it off it together.
I mean, it's about Katie essentially trying to get an egg away from this evil dude who's trying to like steal it and sell it. I did the VFX in it, 2 shots in Blender, and Katie was the guy.
Yeah, and I just acted in it.
Just acted. That's an important role. But you guys said that you've been making films together for a couple of years now.
Yes.
Do you do different roles at different times, or are you mostly acting in most of them? And you
Alternate, like sometimes we both are main roles, and otherwise we like alternate who's in the main role.
We use my iPad to film most of our movies, and then I'll normally do like the editing or something like that, and we'll have a film to show our family or whatever.
All right. Nick, thank you so much for being the very first producer we have on our red carpet. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about the film that you've submitted for the A-Town Teen Film Festival. So what was the name of your film?
So it was the Battle of the Bands 2026. So in January, in this theater, there's an event called Battle of the Bands, 4 student bands, 1 teacher band. And what I did was basically just edit it together, 7 minutes long.
And what was one of your favorite things about producing this film?
Probably the event and the music itself. I think the student bands are a lot better than I thought they would be, honestly.
Alex, can you speak a little bit about your film, how you came up with the idea behind it?
Yeah, so I was paired randomly with my partner, so we kind of were just shooting ideas after each other, and we kind of just both settled on the idea of like a giant monster attacking something, and we just thought it was very funny, so we just ran with it immediately.
So what made you decide this was the route that you wanted to take? Was it something that was maybe a little bit more fun to create with the monsters?
It was definitely, yeah, I think with stop motion it's just very fun to be able to like create the little tiny monsters and try and just sculpt everything. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite part.
Now, there's a lot of things that can come up, obviously. I mean, stop motion is a difficult thing. So did you run into any challenges while you're doing the stop motion?
Yeah, there were a few with deadlines, you know, sometimes we had to hurry stuff up, but most of the way it was pretty smooth sailing. Yeah, we had a very well thought out plan and we executed it pretty well.
Well, and it's not always a challenge. When we get to work on these things, there's a lot of fun too. So tell me a little bit about what was your favorite thing that happened during the production process?
Yeah, my favorite thing was kind of designing the goo monster in the stop motion animation. It was very fun just trying to play with different types of shapes to create something that felt both like menacing but also funny to see on the screen.
Like the first ever thing that I like digitally animated was like an eye blinking, and I was like, why not just turn that into like a film?
And are you particularly drawn to animation? Have you done other things with film as well?
I only really started animation this year. I've wanted to do it for a while, but I just haven't had the means to do it until like this year.
That's great. And what do you like about animation as a medium?
I like how like the creativity and like how you can creatively like tell your own stories. It's pretty fun to do.
It's kind of like a combination of like shooting I'm more familiar with, which is like music videos, and then also like poetry, which I thought was cool. It's kind of about like, I know a lot of people my age feel really insecure about like future and like their future and like how things are going, especially with like AI, and like a lot of people are very focused on like financial stability and like how that's gonna play out, and it's like it kind of makes people pressured to not go into what they want to do. So that's kind of what it's about, and just also like being able to be yourself and have fun like at this age, because I mean it's kind of contradictory to what my film was about, but like everyone kind of gets to that age where it's eventually like, oh, I have to go to work today and I have to work and I'm not at school anymore, and you're not really under that protection of like, oh, like my parents like pay for this and that. You're like, now you're in the real world. So I think it's really important for like people my age especially to be able to like actually have fun and do things without being like letting their whole life be consumed with like being scared about stuff like that.
So I've been interested in birds and falconry for a very long time, and over the summer I was like kind of reading up on it, and so I was going through all this research, and the person I interviewed, Henry, he's been I've been like to his place a couple times, and I've worked with hawks and I've volunteered with them, so it kind of it was something I did a little bit like a couple months back, and I thought I'd just put it in, and I just thought, you know, it would be kind of interesting and different, so.
And falconry is a very, specific kind of activity that has different components to it. What particularly has drawn your interest there? Is it the, watching the birds fly and then return, or what?
I think it's partly watching the birds fly, but I think it's about how the bond between you and the birds is very different than any other animal. Like, the birds aren't there because they love you like a dog. They're there because they trust you. and you feed them. So it's kind of, you gotta really work with them because they're not like any other animal. They'll just fly away if they don't like you.
It's about my dad, Peter Wallace, who was a freelance cartoon artist, and he worked with the Boston Globe for years and years. And it's sort of about just his experiences with like cartooning and like how he got his inspiration around Boston, and also his experiences when technology came into the picture, like when computers started impacting these newspaper businesses.
What was involved in terms of the making of the film? Like, were you using archival footage? Was it a mix of different things that you shot and found?
It was mostly just stuff that I shot right then and there. We went into Boston for a day and we filmed him walking around Boston. So that was fun. We got to see like all the places where he got his inspiration. But yeah, it was pretty much like all made from scrap.
Well, my mixed media class kind of switched custody with the animation class for a few weeks, and the assignment was to make a video about identity. So I make a lot of art about my childhood, so I made a video about that. Well, editing everything together was difficult. I drew every single frame of my video, and it was my first time drawing digitally as well, so that was very fun for me. And so that was difficult, like drawing out every single frame and knowing the amount of frames that I needed and putting them in the right order and making sure that it was actually cohesive. I really did love editing it together. It was very difficult, but I really did enjoy it. And I got the help of one of my very close friends, Issa Bain, so that was also very fun to do as well, of working with them on this. I also helped film the video that they were making for their assignment, and that was also very fun. But yeah, it was just really fun editing it all together.
And if you were to talk to someone who is just getting started as well, and broaching the idea of, oh, I have this creative vision and I want to produce something, what advice would you give to them having just started in that world?
Yeah, I would say ask for advice, get help when you need it, because it is really difficult, and just look for things that you find interesting in other people's work and try to bring that into your own.
The process behind coming up with the idea for this was very stressful for me because I was under time pressure. It was an assignment for my animation class, and I had probably 3 days to frantically try and think of something. And so the driving idea behind it ended up being the message, because I liked the idea of having something that really conveys this feeling of how we all have our own strengths and weaknesses and points where we're going to need help from other people, and that we shouldn't be ashamed to accept that help. And so that ended up being the driving force behind making me pick this idea out of a lot of other ones I thought of and discarded. Focusing on the art and trying to manage my time and figure out, okay, when is a good time to devote a lot of hours into this, and when am I going to need to kind of pull away to focus on other things. It's a lot of kind of trying to think ahead and be like, okay, this weekend I have a bunch of free time, I can get a big chunk of it done then.
Well, and it's not always about the challenges and the struggles when we're in the film industry. It's about the things that we love doing as well. What was one of your favorite things about producing this piece?
I really liked the process of designing my little creature characters. While I was drawing their little cute cat faces, I was just getting very happy and kind of figuring out how they were going to emote and everything. It was very fun.
It's a boxing match between the reigning champion and an up-and-coming boxing prodigy, and they just kind of fight, and the new guy challenges the other one on an interview, and then they fight. We all kind of act in each other's stuff because the sophomore class is only, I think, 9 people. So it's just kind of what we do.
That's about a student who oversleeps in class, and as he's trying to find his way out, he finds something else inside the school.
All right, leave us in suspense. That's very good. And is this the kind of thing that you guys have done before, or was this a one-off kind of project?
We've never done a film festival before, but we've made movies together before.
Yeah. Right, that's what I meant, was making movies. So it's something the three of you guys have been friends and made movies together for a while. For you guys, what was it that you that sticks out for you from this experience?
Probably being barefoot in a school. Definitely being barefoot in a school, because that's, I mean, it's not like every day you're barefoot in a school.
I think it was just working with like the professional equipment, because I never had like that high tech of, we always used like iPhones, you know, just normal, but there was a whole, you know, tripod with the professional camera, boom mic, everything, so it was an experience with that.
That's great.
The whole aesthetic of the video kind of comes from the song, so it wasn't really my creative direction completely. Try to follow a little bit the vibe of the song. And I guess a lot of things just came on their own. We kind of just decided the locations and worked around that.
Okay, and that can come with some challenges, trying to find the right location that matches the vibe that you're trying to create for your video. What were some of the things that came up in the process of looking for things that you struggled with?
Yeah. Definitely finding places that were suitable for filming was hard, because there's a lot of places that we're very familiar with because it's all shot in the city where we were raised in. But most of them were either too bright or too dark. Sometimes we found nice spots, but we got there too late at night, and so we couldn't really get much. So yeah, but after a couple days of shooting, I think it was 3 days in total, we managed to get a good variety of shots from different locations. Like even tonight, I'm presenting a music video for a song that's in Italian to a film festival where I don't think anyone in the audience will be able to understand the text. So that's definitely something. But I think that if it's job well done, it's pretty much international. Like you don't necessarily need to understand everything.